Okay, let's talk about orientation. What happens after you hire someone and they're ready to get started working for you? It's very, very critical that you start things off the right way. Super critical. So let's say you've just hired someone or they've signed the agreement, they're ready to work for you. I recommend you make a little video of yourself, like with a webcam if you have a MacBook or some other PC little webcam. It doesn't have to be a fancy produced, video. It could be a flip cam video or something. But make a little video of yourself and say, "Hey, Mark," or whatever the person's name is. It's Bob here, whatever your name is, and you basically just say, "I'm so happy to have you as a part of our valuable team. I really look forward to getting to know you better, and of course, working directly with you. And I just want you to let you know that everyone at our company is really excited to have you on board, and we look forward to a long and successful relationship together." Now that goes a long way, right? Because again, goes against what everyone else does with outsourcing. They just hire someone, they try to pay the bare minimum, and they just throw a bunch of commands at somebody that they've hired. Look, you got to build relationships with these people just like you would in the real world if you had an office and real employees and it was someone that you saw every day. You need to treat them like, real people. You need to treat them well, and you need to make them feel comfortable and make them feel important. That's key. Make them feel important about their job. So I recommend making a little video or something and welcoming them to your team once they take on the job. You also want to make sure right away to say, "Hey, I really need to just confirm your PayPal address where payments are going to be sent." Now, this is very psychological, of course. Once you're moving towards, confirming this right away, they're associating in their mind with, "I'm going to get paid. I'm going to get paid. I'm going to get paid." The last thing you want new workers to fear is, "I wonder if I'm going to do a bunch of work and these people are never going to pay me." So by you saying, "Hey, I just want to confirm your PayPal address," that puts them at ease, and that goes a long way. Also, during this orientation phase, when you first get things started with them, you want to set up any accounts for them all at the same time. If you're using Basecamp, and I suggest you do, and we'll be going over that in the next module, how to set that all up, how to use it. Go and set up their account for them. Give them their login. Have a bunch of stuff ready for a new worker, kind of like a little welcome package. Say, "Okay, here's your login for Basecamp." If you're doing something where maybe they're going to be doing customer support emails or contacting and recruiting affiliates on your behalf or doing other kind of content deals or managing advertising or anything else, sometimes it makes sense to, we do this with a lot of our people in a couple of different companies that have, we'll set up an email address for them at the domain name of the company. So it could be, like Bob Smith at income.com, for example. And so when he's emailing with people, it looks a lot more professional if he's representing our company because he has the email address. So you want to have that set up. You want to set up an FTP account if you're going to have them upload files anywhere, anything else. But get everything set up at once and just basically you're handing it to them on a platter, welcoming them. Say, "Welcome to the team. Here's all the stuff for you to get started." And you just, put it all out there at once. Don't say, "Hey, I'll get to you. I'm going to have you get set up in Basecamp later, and I'll get you an email address in a few days when I get to it." So have it all done in advance. That makes them realize that you're on the ball, that you're serious about success, and that you've got everything together, and also that you're making it easier for them to do their job. All these people want to do once they get hired is do a good job. That's typically all they really have on their minds. They want to make you happy, and they of course want to feel good about it. So set them off on the right foot by preparing all that for them. You're also going to send them a copy of your policies and procedures and have them confirm that they understand them. Now, we're going to go over policies and procedures in Module 3 when we get to training and management, but basically you're going to give them a list of things that you're going to establish. I'm going to help you figure all this out. Establish for your company basically how things work. What your policies are for when backups need to be done, when reports need to be submitted, so on and so forth. What you can and can never say to customers and what you can and can't have access to, and so on and so forth. So we're going to cover all that. A lot of people have been asking me questions about, well, how do we keep them from, not having logins for sensitive information? How do we keep from, hopefully people ripping us off? We're going to go over a lot of those safeguards in the next module when we get to training and management, so don't worry about that stuff. But in the orientation process, once you do have these policies and procedures, that's when you'll give them to them, and then you'll say, "Hey, make sure you read over these, and then please email me back that you fully understand all of them. If there's any that you don't understand, no problem, just let me know, and I'll give you a further explanation." Send them files that they're going to use for progress reports. We're also going to go over this in the next module for training and management. But you want to send them the files that they're going to use and fill out and be sending to you on a regular basis for communication. And you're just going to confirm again, say, "Hey, take a look at these reports, these fill in the blank reports. I want to make sure you understand, what you need to fill out and when, and that you fully understand it. Don't have any questions. If you do, of course, just ask me, and I'll be happy to help you with any issues you may have with that." And so you want to make sure that that's done. And then, of course, last but not least, You need to let them know that it may take some time for them to get up to speed. You have to let them know that, hey, it's okay if you struggle in the beginning and you may need some help. I know you're just getting started with this. We don't expect you to come out of the gates doing a perfect job. So don't have any tension over that. Everybody makes a few mistakes in the beginning. Everyone has questions. We know that it's going to take time for you to get up to speed, but we have all the faith in you that in a very short amount of time, and that's a very powerful thing to say, we have all the faith in you that in a very short amount of time, you're going to be doing a fantastic job and know exactly what you're doing. But you need to make them comfortable with asking for help. The last thing you want to do is put all this pressure on a worker and just expect them to create miracles for you. Let them know that, hey, mistakes are going to happen. There are going to be things that you don't understand. Don't let that, don't make it, don't allow it to make you feel stupid or anything like that. Really make them comfortable asking you for help. Say, hey, it's no problem if you have any problem with anything. Just let me know, and I'm always glad to help you. So you want to get out there. But an orientation process and starting them off on the right foot with giving them all the stuff, and of course, you're going to learn to have all this prepared when we get through the next module. You give it all of them to them, all that stuff to them at once, and it goes a long way, such a long way with getting them off on the right foot, because how they start the job, and this is what I'm getting at and closing with here, how they start the job working for you is what it's going to be like. So if you want to really be successful, really have them do a lot of work, you got to start them off on the right foot. So the orientation process is critical.